They said you wouldn't make it so far.
Are you interested in finding a school to enhance your education? Not sure where to start? Well, today your search is over. CDP Maths Lab eSchool offers classes for C.S.E.C, CAPE, and GSET subjects, along with training in early childhood education and data operation. Listen to what CDP Maths Lab students have to say about their most fulfilling experience.
While I was attending, it was almost the best experience I ever had. Like I was in class, but I wasn't. I would give the school the full 10 out of 10 because the teachers take the opportunity to help the ones that really needed it. To the upcoming students, this is the best decision you have made and it will benefit you in the near future.
Just talk to your soul and say, I can.
CDP Maths Lab eSchool was founded by Ronique Bernard in August 2009 with a vision to see our students receive a solid education with an emphasis on developing their cognitive skills. The school is committed to developing individuals who will have a positive impact on the society.
The class it really helped me, and if you are going to C.S.E.C, I really recommend this class, so you could always give it a try. The prices are really reasonable, and it is really worth it for online class. Like myself, you would be proud because on that day or on that night when results are out and you log in and you open your results, that feeling, it really is great. It is more of an experience that you would really want to relive.
Of course, I went through it and I passed my exams, so I would highly recommend this to anyone. If you have a problem or so, they will take their time out. They will take their time out to tell you. Plus, they have history of also past students who have also passed their exams in once.
I've been attending for 6 months, and my most fulfilling moment would be the interaction between the teachers and the students, as the environment is very comfortable and welcoming. On a scale of 1 to 10, with 10 being the highest, I would rate this institution, along with the teaching techniques, skills, and tolerance of the teachers, a perfect score of 10. If I had the opportunity to recommend someone to this class, I would, because I can assure you that you will leave 10 times better than how you had entered. Now that I am leaving, one thing that I would recommend is a classroom interaction at least twice a month, as some students tend to do better with face-to-face interactions. This program would be the best decision one could choose, as the teachers are excellent at what they do, and they would go to the extreme to ensure that you understand what was taught, even if that means staying up with you all night. To CDP Maths Lab, thank you.
Despite his late start, Shonday was able to successfully complete his exam.
Trust me, it's a really good program, because if I entered a month before exam and I passed the exam, that says everything for itself. The program speaks for itself practically then.
Just got to believe.
CDP Maths Lab eSchool is convenient and economical. We provide flexible learning options in a relaxed environment. With over 80% pass rate, we offer free demo classes before payment, one-to-one interactive tutoring, clinical teaching sessions to strengthen weak areas, and step-by-step video and worksheet exercises.
So of course, we really are the one to choose. Experience teaches wisdom. So we offer a free online orientation to our prospective students to support your decision. Of course, you cannot make a decision without experience. It is always best to make an informed decision. Now, of course, we are working towards offering you through education. That means we believe in the mental, the physical, and spiritual powers. We believe that we should develop all three harmoniously. And of course, in the
Okay, good night to my students on YouTube. I'm seeing maybe 3 of you on the live at this point. So it's just myself and you alone. The Zoom students are not on as yet, but as usual in our style of doing things, we're going to begin our class with devotion until our students get on. So I'm just seeing one getting on at this point. Um, if you're coming to CDP Labs Edu Services for the first time, I would like to welcome you to CDP Labs Edu Services, and I do pray and hope that tonight's class will be productive for you, and of course, you know, assist you in preparing for your exams. Good night, Tangini. Yes, good night. All right. So just saying good night. Good night to Gabriel. McPherson, I must say, thank you, Gabriel, for that lovely, lovely Teachers Day gift that I received. It was wonderful. So I want to say special thanks to you, Gabriel McPherson. Thank you very much. And good night to QC Gamer. Good night. Could you say what your name is? I'm not sure what QC Gamer means. I mean, I know that's not your real name, but I would just want to say good night to you as well. And good night to all other persons who are watching us live on YouTube. Because of situations last week, we weren't able to start our marathon last week. And so we'll be commencing our marathon this week, starting tomorrow, definitely. And we'll be pushing back our maths marathon 1 week behind our HSB marathons. So our first week of marathon begins this week, and the other 2 weeks is human and social biology. And the following week, the first week in June, we'll be taking our um, maths, last maths marathon. And our marathons will not be streamed live. So um, it's only for registered students. So if you are registered with CDP Labs and Services, then of course you'll have access to our marathon classes. Oh, it's you, QN. Good night. QN, you have to go into Schoology in order to get access to the Zoom account. So go to Schoology, and you have to look in the folder that says Zoom links. Then you get access to Zoom. So that is how you get access to Zoom. QN. So go into Schoology, go into the folder. Okay, so you're using YouTube. All right. Okay, sir. All right. So QA Tangine, QA is in YouTube land. All right. So we're gonna start our devotion now, and let's get cracking. All right. Let's go. All right. So our Bible verse is for tonight is coming from the book of Exodus, chapter 19, verse 4. This is my memory verse for this week's lesson. And it reads, you yourselves, I have seen, you yourselves have seen what I did to Egypt, and how I carried you on eagle's wings and brought you to myself. Let's read this again. It says, you yourselves have seen what I did to Egypt, and how I carried you on eagle's wings and brought you to myself. This is God speaking to the children of Israel. He's reminding them that you yourselves have seen what I did to Egypt. Now, this is saying to us that we must reflect on what God has done for us. As a song, our theme song speaks about the goodness of God. You know, if you look back in your life, the very fact that you're alive now, you're alive today, you're alive at this point, it says a lot. It says that we can look back and see what God has done for us. We can look back and see how God prevented us from he prevented us from dying. He has provided for us in the past. Just look back. So this is just a moment of reflection. God wants us to reflect. And sometimes what will keep us going in life, you know, sometimes you reach a stage where you're feeling down, you're feeling disappointed. But if you look back at what God has done for you, what he has taken you away from, taken you out of, and brought you to where you are today, he has kept you alive. He has put food on your table, clothes on your back, and a shelf and a roof over your head. So we have a lot to give God thanks for. So if there's anybody out there in YouTube feels disappointed, feels down, just look back at the goodness of God. And at this point, we'll listen to our theme song, and then we're going to go into prayer. Kiwain, try again, go back to Schoology. You have to go into the Zoom link folder. That's where all the Zoom links are.
I love you, Lord. Oh, your mercy never fails me. And all my days I've been held in your hand. From the moment that I wake up until I lay my head, oh, I will sing of the goodness of God. 'Cause all my life you have been faithful, and all my life you have been so, so good. With every breath that I You will lead me through the fire, and in darkest night, you were close like no other. I've known you as a father, I've known you as a friend, and I have lived in the goodness of God. Yeah. And all my life you have been faithful. Oh, and all my life you have been so, so good. With every breath that I am able, oh, I will sing of the goodness of God. Yeah. Your goodness is running after, it's running after me. Your goodness is running after, it's running after me. With my life laid down, I'm surrendered now. I give you everything. Your goodness is running after, it's running after me. Your goodness is running after, it's running after me. Your goodness is running after, it's running after me. With my life laid down, I'm surrendered now. I give you everything. Your goodness is running, it keeps running after me. And all my life you have been faithful. And all my life you have been so, so good. With every breath that I am able, oh, I'm gonna sing of the goodness of God. I'm gonna sing, I'm gonna sing. Oh, gosh, 'cause all my life you have been faithful. And all my life you have been so, so good. With every breath that I am able, oh, I'm gonna sing of the goodness of God. Oh, I'm gonna sing of the goodness of God. With every breath, over all my days.
Such a lovely song. Such a lovely song. Good night, everyone. Let us pray. As we pray, just want to look back at the remember verse for tonight. It says, yourselves, you yourselves, you know, put your name right there. Ronique, you have seen what God has done for you and how he had taken you out of and put you where you are today. So we have a lot to give God thanks for. And let us pray. Most kind and loving and heavenly Father, we humbly bow before you tonight, not as saints, but as sinners. Father, we have done you wrong time upon time in our thoughts, in our actions. And so, Lord, we come before you. We are happy that you are your love, your word that says God is love. And so we are grateful for your love and mercy that you have extended towards us every day, every night, every hour. And so, Lord, we ask you for your forgiveness for our sins that we have trespassed against you as we forgive those who have trespassed against us. And so, Lord, we pray that you remove any form of sin and iniquity from our hearts. And Lord, I just want to place before you this night the students of CDP Labs Services students who are on YouTube, and those students across the Caribbean who are now in preparation mode for the C.S.E.C exam 2021. Place them before you, dear Father. We know that this exam requires knowledge, requires understanding, and requires a sense of reasoning, wisdom. So I pray, oh Father, that you will continue to develop and prepare their cognitive abilities so that they execute and do well. We know that all things are possible through you. You have made your promise, O Lord, in Jeremiah 29, verse 11, what you have, the thought that you have of them. And so you have made the promise to give them that expected end. And as they study their Lord, as they practice their God, you have said faith without work is dead. But once they do what they ought to do, and they're all depending on you, we can guarantee success. And so because of faith, we are saying thanks, dear Lord, for the results that you have given them. For this we ask now in Jesus' most precious and holy name we pray. Amen. All right, good night, students. So we're going to proceed. I don't know why QN is having difficulty, and Lexi seems to be having difficulty as well. But good night to Nikosha, good night to Tarsha, and again, good night to Tangini. And good night again to all those other students who are on your YouTube channel. So tonight we're gonna see how much work we can do. There is we have a completing the square question to do as well, and enlargement, transformation, geometry. No, students, I am not going to say anything more about assignments tonight because I think I've exhausted all of that already. So I'm not going to spoil my night and talk about that. Okay. But I just want to show you how much videos you have missed. How much videos you have missed. And when you watch the enlargement video that I have right here, you're going to see the necessity of trying to get through these assignments as fast as possible. Because this very video was made 2009 and January 2020 exam was dependent upon this very same video for that question. So let us go. Let's look at the first couple questions on January 2020 past paper. All right. So this is the actual question. Past paper. So we're going to start from the top. Starting from the top. So this was last year exams paper. Some persons might have done it already. No, I don't want to take forever to do the question. Please do not take forever. So go ahead now and do the question. Do not take forever now and do the question. All right. We don't want to spend the whole 2 hours in our 1.5 hour on this one question. So please do not take forever. Go ahead and try question number 1, AI, quickly. So let's run through that question together. Go ahead and do it. Remember, you can always type your answer to me. And remember, you can use a calculator and Very important to know how to use the calculator to do the fractions. If you do have a calculator, you can do otherwise. But remember how to use the calculator there. All right. Persons in YouTube, yeah, of course, you can go ahead and give me your answer. First person to give the answer, that's my cue to know when to start going through the question. So I'm not going to wait until everybody does it. So let's try and do as much questions as we can tonight.
Good night.
Good night, Lexi. How are you?
Okay.
Okay, good.
Sir?
Yeah, man. Okay, good. I heard it. Going to see how much questions we can actually do on the January 2020 paper. All right, let's see. Okay, very good, Nikosha. So Nikosha has given us her answer. So I've gotten one answer already. So we're going to work through it. So as soon as somebody gives me an answer, then we're going to work through the paper. All right, so first things first. I mean, persons might do it different way, but I have my way of doing it. You have your way of doing it. What I would have done first is to take this mixed fraction and convert it into an improper fraction. And we know by now that an improper fraction is where the numerator is greater than the denominator. Now, 4 and 1/5. Basically, let's say that just to make it. All right, that was quick, Lexi. All right, that's correct. That was quick. The two persons gave me the answer. Nobody in YouTube don't know the answer. Like seriously, nobody in YouTube don't know the answer. Or am I not seeing right? Nobody from YouTube do have the answer. No, man, I must not be seen right at all. All right, nobody from YouTube. Okay, torpedo. The torpedo, that's an answer. Crane finally made it. Brother Crane finally made it. All right, let us show you that what 4 and 1/5 really is. All right, so as I said, we're not going to take the whole day or the whole night into this thing. All right, so we have 4 holes. It's 1. Good evening, sir. You finally made it. I don't know how you got lost. So this is 4 hole, eh? And for us to get 1/5, we also have to have another hole. So if it's 4 and 1/5, what 4 and 1/5 really means is 4 hole, and 1/1/5. So we have to divide everything up into 5 parts. Let's divide this into 5. And my diagrams, I'm not drawing the scale. So they're not drawing the scale. So just use your imagination that there are 5 equal parts, please. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now, if you count up all of these, each box has 5 parts. So this is 5, 10, 15, 20. So 4 holes is the same thing as 21 fifths. 20 fifths. Good, 20 fifths. And then we have another 1/5 right here. So let's deal with this now. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're dealing with this 1/5 over here. Good. So all of these are 1/5 that I'm shading. 1/5. And if you count all of them, you will end up with 21 1/5. 21 1/5. So when the shortcut method is really to multiply the denominator by the whole number, then add the numerator, which is the same thing as 21 1/5. Good. Now, students, when a teacher teaches on a board, it doesn't mean that you understand or you learn anything. No, you just get an idea. But the learning actually begins when you yourself think about what's happening, reflects on what's happening. That's when the learning really starts. You have to do the work. Looking at math is not about memory. Good. All right. So that is 20, 21, 21 1/5. So 4 and 1/5, 4 wholes and 1/5 is the same thing as 21 1/5. Good. Times a third. Now, multiplication is commutative, meaning that it doesn't matter if it's a 2 times 3 is still 6. And if it's a 3 times 2 is still 6. It doesn't really matter. So it's the same thing with fractions. If it's a third of 21 1/5, it's the same thing as 21 1/5 of a third. Same difference. Good. Now, what we can do here, what it basically asking you is to divide up this into 3 parts. Good. And then you find a third. Now, if there are 21 1/5, and I divide it up into 3 parts, then one part is going to have 7 1/5. So 1/3 of 21 1/5 is the same thing as 7 1/5. So 7/5. Good. So I don't have to talk about canceling. I use understanding to express what I'm doing here. And that is why in the beginning, talking to you guys now in YouTube, sorry, in Zoom, that's the reason for me trying to tell you that do the maths or I teach you to do the maths. So that when you get to the exam questions, you don't waste time. You just bruise it because you already have practiced to think a certain way. You do your thing, right? Now, I can always tell it what to do, but you have to do it in order to develop the skill. It's a skill. Good. Anyway, what the other persons learn is that you can say 3 into 12 goes 1 time and 3 into 27 goes 7 times. But they don't have a clue why they do that. Really, what is still division, you see? Still division, they're doing right there. It's still dividing the numerator by this denominator. It's the same thing. You divide all you count up all the 21 1/5 and you divide them into 3 different parts. It's evident now that you will have 3 groups of 21 of 1/5. And when you count one group, we're going to have 7 of them inside there. Since it's 7/5 in one group. So a third of 21 1/5 is 7/5. Now, in the rules of mathematics, one would know that you have to do this part first. Multiplication division must be done before subtraction and addition. Good. In another class, I can demonstrate practically to show you why that is true. All right, so we must minus now 1 1/4 from it. Now, of course, 7 1/5 is the same thing as, let's look at it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 1/5. So if you stop it right here, so 7 1/5, you're going to recognize that a whole and 2/5 is the same as 7/1/5. So if a whole and 2/5 is the same as 7/1/5, I can simply write 7/1/5. Let's cover where there's more space. I can simply write 7/1/5 as, let's erase that part there, as a whole and 2/5. So this is what I'm working with. But I want to take away 1 1/4 now from this 7/1/5. Now, because of this one whole, I can, if I remove it, this one whole, I can take away 1 from 1. One whole, remove the 1 whole. So if I'm removing the 1 whole, I'm only going to left with what? 2/5. But I still have to take another quarter now from the 2/5. Now, watch the story now. What is left back after I subtract the 1 and the 1 1/4? Let's erase that. Sorry about this. So what is left back after I minus the 1 whole is 2/5. So 1 from 1, I'm going to leave with 2/5. See, take away the whole, you're left with 2/5. Good. Now, if you are left with 2/5 now, you must take a quarter away from the 2/5. But before you can take a quarter away from it, you have to turn it into you have to turn that 2/5. You have to first can find a quarter of 2/5. So if you're going to find a quarter of 2/5, you have to go divide it by 4. That's the only way you're going to know. So if you divide this by 4, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4, but the fraction going to change. Good, the fraction is going to change. Now, if you divide a fifth, so a fifth basically I divide into 2, I get 1/10. Well, all right. So this is 1/5. So basically, let's say 2/5. You divide it by a quarter. So you have, all right, let me not carry to the technical rule. Now I want to carry to the technical route. All right, don't want to trouble the picture. Anyway, now you have to find a quarter of basically of 2/5. And if you find a quarter of 2/5, you're naturally going to have to divide it into 4. Right? Everybody following? Everybody's following?
Yes, sir.
Okay, then. So if you're going to divide the 2/5 by 4, all right, see it now. If you divide 2/5, you're going to say 2/5 divided by 4. See? That's what we are saying. Good. Now if you divide 2/5 by 4, now this is a half already. So we'll go so. What we end up getting is 2 hold on there. So 2/5 times this. I have the so you end up getting 2/20, right? So that means that 1/4. What it means, 1/4 of 2/5 is 2/20. 1/4. Good. So let's add them up and see what we get. And I'm just experimenting. All right, just experimenting. So we have 4/20. Good. All right. We want carrying around the world with that one. Not carrying around the world with that one. Let's keep it simple and done. Eh? Let's keep it simple. All right, let's keep it simple. So what we have is 2/5 minus a quarter. Put that way. Now, if you use your sense of equivalent fraction, then you have the same denominator. Therefore, it's going to become 4. Oh, so I made a mistake now. 4/20. Good. And they have a minus now. You have turned this quarter into 20ths too. How much 20ths is this? Make a mistake. It's supposed to be 8. Oh, no, tell me the errors I'm making. Eh? This is 8. Good. And the quarter now is what? 5/20. Good. So they are now the same denominator. So you subtract 5 from 8 and you end up with 3/20. So well done, Torpedo. Well done, Nikosha. Well done, Lexi. All right. So you guys will have gotten that mark. Good. But when in doubt, always use the shapes. Practice user shapes when in doubt. If shapes not help you, just use money. Use money. Use money. All right. And you have to practice these things until you master it. All right. So let's erase this. So the answer for this is 3/20. Let's move on to the next part of the question. Everybody try that one now. 4.1 minus, let's carry it up. 4.1 minus 1.25 squared divided by 0.005. Persons in YouTube, don't be selfish. You can share the link with your friends who are doing exams this year. Share the link with your friends. So don't be selfish now. We could have been selfish too and did not go live. So you need not to be selfish. So please share the link with your friends so that they too can get an understanding of how part of help them with their preparation. So share the link with your friends and so forth. So the first person to give me the answer, that's my cue to go ahead and start going through the question. Remember, you can use a calculator for part 2 questions. You know? So you try to work out them easy questions out the head. Use a calculator and run through the thing. But I just write down and just use a calculator. All right, so we get 2 answers in YouTube. Let's say if we get an answer already in Zoom. All right, so Lexi gave us give us the answer 2 different ways. All right, that's good, Lexi. Good job. All right, so let us go through it together then. So we have to first find the square of 1.25. Now, If I do have a calculator in the exam, this is what I would do. I will convert this into fractions, which is 1 1/4. So you have to learn over convert from decimal to fractions. And just in case nobody doesn't know that, the one is one whole, and the 20.25, you put that 0.25 over 100. How do I know it's 100? Because of the number of decimal places after the decimal point. That's how I know it says 100. All right. So this now can be now written as 25 over 100. But what you have to now do now is to reduce its lowest term, and you will end up with 1/4. Good. Now, so I'm supposed to square this. Good. I'm supposed to square this first. So you do the square part first. So 1 and 1 1/4 is the same as 5/4. And if I'm going to square it, means I'm going to multiply it by itself once. So therefore, I'm going to end up with 25 over 16. And you can now reconvert this back into a decimal to make your life easy if you think it's going to be easy that way. All right. So 25 divided by 16 is how much? Can somebody in Zoom tell me that, please? Can 25 divided by 16? Or is 25 divided by 16? Nobody now tell me. All right. So I have it as 1.56. So I use as 2 decimal places. So this is equal to 1.56. Good. No. Oh, thank you very much, Peter. So 4.1, let's go up to the top here. So minus 1.56 is equal to what? Let's look at that. Go to my calculator. So 4.1, sorry. 4.1 minus 1.56, or leave me 2.54. 2.54. So now, good. So I'm not gonna divide now this now by 0.005. Now, them why I show a bit of working. So you have to multiply this by 1,000, remove the decimal point. You show a bit of working. Oh, I know, so I must use 1,000. I count the number of decimal places, and so I get 3 zeros. And I multiply this same way by 1,000. Why should I multiply by 1,000? Because you want any number multiplied by 1 is the same. 1,000 over 1,000 is still 1. Good. So this is where I move 3 decimal places, and I'm going to end up with now 2,540 divided by 5. Good. How much you end up get? What answer when I get the phone on? 1.507.5. 2540 divided by 5. I get 508. So I get my exact answer is 508. So you could round it off to the nearest whole number and get 508. So if you get 507.5, then I still get the answer, but the answer is 508. All right. So good job. And those who missed this you can always go back to the YouTube channel and get the working out if you miss it. So this is just to test if you were on the right track. All right, let's say we can run through some more questions. All right, and make sure to have your graph papers for tomorrow's marathon class, which begins at 6 o'clock. Probably could start it earlier. Tomorrow is Tuesday, if you're not available. Probably could start it at 5 o'clock instead, so we get more time to do some work. All right. Can somebody read that question for me, please?
A stadium currently a stadium
Tangini, read. She said you must read.
a stadium currently has a seating capacity of 15,400 seats. Calculate the number of people in the stadium when 75% of the seats are occupied.
All right. This is supposed to do in 1 second. I get the answer already. I'm gonna tell you why I'm supposed to do it in 1 second. After finish, get the answer. I'll tell you why I should do it in 1 second. All right. Okay, Alexia on the ball. Very good. Alexia did this paper already?
No, sir.
Okay. Very good, Tangini. And the ball too. So I'll get 2 answers from Zoom students. All right, we did say that on the first question, we're going to go through it. So people have to work a bit faster. That's why I'm doing it this way. Normally I'll give it. Now, the first thing you look at is this. 75%. What fraction is 75%? What fraction is 75%? All right, Torpedo. Good. What fraction is 75%? Anybody know?
So 3/4.
3/4. So bam, first thing you do is turn it into a fraction. 3/4. The 3/4 of this. Very good, Korean. Job well done. 3/4 of this. Good. Now, 3/4 of that. You kill yourself and say that. Simply divide the 15,400 by 4 and you get a quarter. Right? I get a quarter of it. So if you divide the 15,400 by 4, you'll obviously get a quarter. I mean, if you look at the bar model thing, and that divided by 4 is 3,850, and they will multiply that by 3. You get 3/4 then the answer is going to evidently be 11,550. All right, for those who did not get it. That's the answer. 3/4 of the stadium is that amount. All right. So let's keep it moving. But we want to get to some tough questions now. So that's why I may run through it so quickly. But them questions are supposed to blaze through them already. All right. Now, please note the information at the top right here. And the answer that we got. All right, Tangini. You are our reader. So can you continue reading, please?
The stadium is to be renovated with a new seating capacity of 20,790 seats. After the renovation, what will be the percentage increase in the number of seats?
Okay. So what do we have to do? Work that out. Yeah, everybody work that out. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Don't we can zoom any further? So while my students in Zoom are working it out and those on YouTube are working it out, if there's anybody who's watching our YouTube live, our class is a very interactive class. We do not just invite you to watch or invite you to actively participate. So we want you to ask questions in our YouTube chat. We want you to show your answers also in the YouTube chat. So don't just watch alone. Watching alone doesn't help you. We want our visitors at YouTube to participate, actively participate. We believe that you must try something, whether you think you get it wrong or not, try something. Oh, so we have an answer pop in. All right, so Tangini gives us her answer. So let us work it out. Now to find the percentage increase, you first have to find the difference between what was and what is known. So naturally, you have to find the difference between. So this reminds us of a consumer arithmetic type of question, right? Where you find the profit percentage. All right, so to repeat, get a different answer from Tangini. We're gonna see who's correct. So let us go back up and see what was the original amount. So the original amount was this 15,400. So I could carry it down because people might think so. 15,400. Want to pick. So all right, so 15,400 from that. All right, and all is going to be divided by the same 15,400. And this is the solution set. Oh, what is 80? Are you changing the answer, Tangini? Or I made a mistake with some? Oh, well, I guess I change the answer. All right. So, and whatever we get from here is going to be multiplied by 100 to give us the increased percentage. But let us see. It's an increased percentage, What will be the percentage increase in the number of seats? All right, so QA is a different answer too. Let's see who's correct. So let's subtract that. So 20,790 minus 15,400 with the left us with 5,350. And if you multiply 5,390, if you multiply 5,000, so this up at the top here, so it's going to be 5,000 390. Eh? We can multiply this by 100 and then divide by 15,400. So let's multiply that by 100 and then divide it now by 15,400. So Kiwene, job well done. Kiwene is the only one who got it correct. Well done, sir. 35%. Well tried, Torpedo. It's not 37.2, but 35%. Nice try, Tangini, but come better next time. You have to understand the question first. First, you have to reason out the question. You can't lose marks for reasoning. If you lose every mark, you lose for the reasoning questions, then a matter of fact, to safely get a pass in the C.X.C and not to waste your dollar or your exam money, try to do every question. Think them out, reason them out. The stadium is to be renovated. Draw one stadium if you must. Draw one, something says a stadium. What the word renovate mean? With a new capacity. So obviously they might add on more seats. Good. So it doesn't mean that they're going to add on 20,000 more seats. You're going to increase the capacity to 20,790 seats. So in other words, you add on 5,390 seats. You have to find out how much is the additional seats. The additional seats is proportional to the percentage increase. But first you have to find that. So this reminds you of what we call profit percentage in consumer everything. The same principle. Find the difference between selling price and cost price. Get profit. So that 530 is what is gain. So you have to put that over cost price. It's the same principle, you know, all in different terms. The 5,390 multiplied by 100 will give you that amount. You divide it by 15,400, you get a 35%. Well done, sir. All right, let's move on. Next question. All right, so we're at part C. Do this one, please.
A neon light flashes 5 times every 10 seconds. Show that the light flashes 43,200 times in one day.
Fractions again. Torpedo, I don't know what you mean by the 35. What do you mean by the 35, Torpedo? Explain yourself. What do you mean by the 35? First person to come up with an answer, start work it out. Oh, okay, that's what I mean. Yes, 35. Yes, sir. It's just 35. If you read the question carefully, you can know what concept is this question based on. I think we might start the marathon 5 o'clock tomorrow. Hope you guys can come in at 5. I'll work straight. Tuesdays we can start at 5. Work for 3 hours, take a break, last 2 hours. So we begin with try to finish up our vectors and matrices. Nobody don't get it yet. All right, let me try it then. I tried, but that is 5. Well, answer coming already. Alexis says that time. Okay, Alexis. All right, so Lexi shows her working. Okay. All right, so you're working, Lexi. Okay. Now, it's a show that, so it cannot just be a one answer. You have to show the solution. All right, Lexi, I see yours. All right, so Lexi show hers. Let's get into the question. Now, this is ratio. Proportion, listen. This is ratio, proportion. Right? So it is saying 5 to 10. That's the ratio. Good. And you can break down its lowest term, which is 1 to 2. Good. So in other words then, it's a show that the light flashes 43,200 times in a day. In a day. Now, in it flashes 1 time every 2 seconds. 1 time every 2 seconds. Good. So if it flashes 1 time every 2 seconds, how many seconds is in 1 day? How many seconds is in 1 day? Avocado, I like that name. But that is not, 1,440 times 60 divided by 2. I don't understand that expression. I've got to explain what you're writing there, sir. All right, so the light flashes 1 time every 2 seconds. All right, so Lexi says, okay, thank you, Lexi. So there's 86,400 seconds in a day. So note that this side is the number of time flashes. So I'm going to put F over it. And this is seconds. Good. Now, 86, what's that again? 86,400 seconds in 1 day. 86 400, right? That's correct, Lexi? Answer, Lexi, yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So let's call that X that we don't know. So X to that. Then, so we break it down to the slowest term in terms of ratio. 1 to 2 and X to this. So we could do it properly, yes or no. So 1 to 2 is the simplest form of ratio. So in one day, how many times? So we turn the seconds, but this are the same unit, isn't it? So now we have to find what? X. So 2 times X is equal to 1 times this, which is 86,400. Is that a different way now, Lexi? Sister Lexi?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So use a different algorithm and divide this by 2. And evidently, we are going to get 43,200. So it boils down to reasoning again. But to get to this level of reasoning, students, you have to do what I tell you to do. Or I tell you, if you watch my videos, them and do what I tell you to do in the videos, use concrete, get the concrete understanding, to use the practical methods. Then now you'll create in your mind, you structure your mind a way of thinking. Because right there, where I look at it and I realize it's ratio. Because oh, my brain trained to think. But and that's what that drive a training to do. But in our practice, do the thing in a practical way. So therefore, that's how we reach, you know. So my way short and Lexi?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I'm just apply it. Right? So it shows you that it's a 1 to 2 ratio. So it simply means then that if it is in a 1 day, if it's 1 day, 1 day is 86,400 seconds, right? So therefore, if you want to find, if it's a 1 to 2 ratio, meaning that the number of seconds is twice the number of flashes. Good? That's what I tell you. Simple. All right. Good. And you have to also verify that 86,400 seconds is 1 day. So let's verify that too. So if there's 60 seconds in 1 minute, and there's 60 minutes in 1 hour. Sorry, 60 minutes in 1 hour. Then that means then we have to multiply this by this. Give us the number of seconds in 1 hour, right? That's what you're doing, Lexi. 60 times 60.
Yes, sir.
Give us 3,600. So for 24 hours, we multiply that by 24, you get the same 86,400. But I never need to, I just use ratio. And I bang, bang, bang. I ding upon it. Is it? Simple, right? All right, so simple ratio could carry us straight to the answer. All right, so let's move on. I think this probably is a high mark. 2 marks. All right, so that's question number 1. Let's move on now to question number 2. Factorization. Run through that. Let's see. Algebra tiles can help you if you try it. Let's factorize this. What is that? It's an easy factorization. They must use algebra tiles for this. That's not one or too easy. So it's a giveaway, one more. Easy one more. All right, nice try, do a round avocado. Nice try. We have to explain what you're seeing in the chat. Remember to share the link. Don't keep it to don't keep it as a secret. CDP Library Service is not a secret. So share the link with a friend who's doing the exam. If you're just coming for the first time, don't forget to subscribe, like. That answer coming in too slow. All right, Lex is on the ball again. All right, so simple. H is a common factor. So simple factorize by the H. Bam, highest common factor is H. Simple factorize it. So that is that. Give you H outside the bracket. Leave it 5H right here. So minus 12G. All right, done. All right, very good, Torpedo. Good job. All right, well done, QA. So warm to the quotient Tangini. Huh? I don't have the answer for it too. All right. All right. Sort the one out too. Round avocado, what are you saying? I don't understand the question mark. What are you saying? What is your question? What's your question, round avocado? What is your question? This is a 1 mark, 2 marks. This algebra tile can work that trick. As the answers coming in, Tangini, this can be right. Must make a big mistake in this one. Not right, Tangini. I will show you if you use the algebra tile on this. All right, so Tangini sending something. So as we say, we're going to start it as, so this 2x square means I must have 2 at the x then. 2 at the positive x then. And it's blue. All right, let's see. It look like you're correct. Look like you're correct. All right, so if you use it, algebra tile Tangini. So we'll go. Hope we get the same size. So modeling the thing. One negative x. Good. I almost have 6 at the unit squares then. You see that for practice I'm teaching, you know. But I don't know, you know. So if you know so this is your weakness, then you can practice. All right, Torpedo, so you get a question there. No round avocado. Don't say never mind. You must get your understanding, right? So we have 4. No, we have too much. Too much also. All right. So we're supposed to know, put them together now, form a rectangle, eh? I'll put this so. So the natural know that well, what's the problem here, don't it? It's not gonna work. So we can't put it so. So probably we'll go so then. Would that work? It is suggesting to us. This is making a suggestion to us. This is making a suggestion, obviously. Even though there's 1x right there, so it is making a suggestion. So if we have to turn this, so this is where the 1x going to come from. All right. This might not work. Might not work. Suppose I have the 2x right here. 2x squares. If we use this, so so we have a little problem here, right? Let me see, bam, 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 bam. So what is it saying to us then? We're gonna need another set of x's right here, and another set of x's right here. So what is it saying to us then? Well, we'll need 2 more of this out there, so just have a think your way out. And then now you fold this up. Some positive x. I guess we'll just try nothing, right? Hold on there. So if we get that's all. We'll end up with 1, 2, 4. So with 2x plus 3 x plus 2. See? Yeah, same thing. So I have a complete rectangle. Right? Basically, I have a complete the rectangle. So I have a complete the rectangle. Eh? So you use what you already have, but you still have to complete the rectangle. So these are 2x plus 3, 1x plus 2. Simple. So if you put it out as it is, set it up, but you realize that it's not complete, but you have to complete the rectangle. So you see what you need now to complete it, and you add them in. So that Tangini and Company. Tangini and Company, so that?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. So you get, so this side to the 2x, so this is 2x right here. Let's change this to black. So this is 2x right here. When should the other method, you know, where yourself plus 3. And this is 1x right here plus 2. But there's a problem. But do anybody see the problem we have? Anybody see the problem we have? It's supposed to be -3, don't it? And not positive. And we're experimenting with the blocks. Please bear that in mind. This is -x and -2. We're just experimenting. So just observe before you get confused. This is also negative. Now, if it is that I factor out, so what I have right here says 2x according to my rectangle. I have 2x minus 3 according to my rectangle. If I factor out the x, if I factor out a -1 out of it, I'm going to end up with x plus 2. Good? See that? Everybody see that? Everybody see that?
Sir, can you repeat again? My mic finally working. I've been talking and nobody seems to be hearing me.
Oh, sorry. Come on, let's say quiet now. All right. We're trying to see how we can use the algebra tile to figure this out. It now works out perfectly, but we'll just try a thing. We're going to show you the actual method still, the other way. All right? But the algebra tile really work for all of them.
Yes, sir, the algebra tile I get me confused right about now.
Yeah, that's why I say observe and don't try to do it yet.
No, yeah, that one is weird.
Yeah.
I was trying to do it, but to me, I started to myself say, we don't think this have no answer. But then they wouldn't give it to us if you never have any answer.
It have an answer, man.
You know, because I try first I look at all the possible values. I was saying to myself that the 2 you could have go for the 2 and the 6, but then there's an x in the middle, and that would work out. I said, all right, let's try the x. The x could go for the 2x square and the x by itself, but you couldn't go for the 6.
No.
So then I was saying to myself, then how exactly am I supposed to be able to do this?
Well, that may I show you now. So if you factor out the -1, you know, if you factor out the -1, right? You factor out the -1 here. See, you're gonna end up with 2x minus 3. And I think some people are gonna ball now. Like it can't be 2x plus 3, x plus 2. There's no way it can be that. Close to the answer, but there's no way it can be that. One of them have to be minus. All right, so I use my algebra tile and arrive at this. Let's use the method that we're supposed and probably were taught in school. You take the coefficient of term A. No, watch me now, you know. So the first term is called A. Second term is called B. Third term is called C. All right. So you take the coefficient of the first term and multiply it by the constant in the second term. So that's 2 times -6 is going to give us -12. That's step number 1. Now, you have to now factor out now this product to get 2 factors that when multiplied together will give us the coefficient of the second term. Now the coefficient of the second term is -1. True? But at the same time, they must multiply together to give us back the -12. So that will be what? It tell me what? And then again, come, when I work with me now. -4 and +3. But when they add those two together, you get -1. And when they multiply them together, you get -12. That's step number 2, right? So first, the step number 1, let's go back to it again. You take the coefficient of the first term, which the 2 is the coefficient, and multiply it by the constant in term C. We get -12. Second step, so this is probably wrong too. Part is probably wrong too. Good. Second step is to factorize this -12 into 2 factors that when you add them together, you get the coefficient of B, which is -1 in this case. And when you multiply them, you still get back this. All right. So then, now that we have found the 2 factors, we're going to rewrite it now like this. So let's get rid of that part over there. So forget about this. So just experiment. And in mathematics, don't be afraid to experiment. You must say, about this a teacher, no, this teacher experiment. All right. Now, so let's rewrite it now. 2x² minus 4x. And let's say we're going to end up with the same answer that we had before. Plus 3x minus 6. So we might end up with what I had before, right? Ready now? Are we ready? So we'll factorize. So the common factor is 2x. So everybody know that already. And left x here, so minus 2. And then execute the algebra tile work. 3 is a common factor over this side. So we say plus 3. I've got enough of this, you know? And then x again, minus 2. That magic, that -1 is a magic -1. I'm gonna have up there, so yeah. The algebra tile taught the story, you know. Better believe it. Better believe it. Better believe it. Better believe it. All right, so we have 2 of them, so we'll just choose one, but we'll bracket the outside thing them first. So 2x plus 3 and then x minus 2. So Lexi and company, that's where we're gonna go around. I guess no one time to write it off, right? What you must try to write off is the steps and practice the steps. Find questions like those and practice the steps. So first step number 1, they take the coefficient of the first term, multiply it by the constant in the third term, then find 2 factors that when multiplied will give you the same product, but when add together must give you the coefficient of the second term. Oh, well, Torpedo, you're correct. I thought that was x plus 2. So it's x minus 2. You're correct, Torpedo.
Sir, can you repeat that again, please?
You mean the steps?
Yes.
Oh, Lexi, wait, correct yourself, Lexi. All right, that was the answer I had before. I mean, answer right.
Sure, that was the answer before.
Okay, sorry. So me not answer right. Sorry, Lexi. My eyes not answer right. Let me repeat my steps. So first step number 1, you take the coefficient of the first term, multiply it by the coefficient Sorry, multiply it by the constant in the third term, which is term C. You get that, QA?
Yes, sir.
All right. Step number 2, you factorize the product that you get. As they multiply, must be the product. You factorize the product you get, and this is x. This is 2. This is 2. This is not x. This is multiplication. 2 times -6. When you get the product, you will factorize it. Find two factors that, when added together, will give us the coefficient of the second term, that is b. But when multiplied together, must give us about the same product. That's it. And they rewrite the expression to include those two factors, as you can see over this side here. All right, so very good, Lexi, and very good, Torpedo. But my little concussion over here, so give me a little idea, see, of what's going on. All right, so let's move on. We need to do some more questions. Let's solve the equation. So tomorrow night, we will start early. Tomorrow evening, we start early. Then we can finish this paper and move on to vectors. Or we leave this to Monday night class. Monday nights class. When is maths exam? I need to know. Anybody know the day for maths exam? Anybody know? Only supposed to know, you know? Which day on the timetable is maths exam? Anybody knows?
I think it's the 23rd.
23rd. All right, so we have a bag of time. All right, no worries. But that don't mean, you see, Lexi, when you talk about that measurement worksheet, I don't think the answer. I don't think I'm making a mistake on the worksheets. Probably enough to write the unit them. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Probably not it right. All right, so Torpedo, come up with an answer.
Sir, I'm gonna go back over it because some of them going.
Some of them correct.
Yes, sir. I'm gonna go back over it.
Okay. Let's reach our measurements. Let's say I move. Rest of them need to catch up. Let's see. Let's mean business. All right. So Torpedo give you an answer. No, Torpedo, you're not giving an answer yet. Because you tell you say it is either that or that. You must be sure that not working an exam. Come avocado. Where you gone? Don't give up. Or the 23rd or the 28th. Will I hear the 23rd? Okay, Torpedo. Thank you for. Oh, that's what I mean. The date. Oh. Sorry, boss. The date. Okay. All right. Thank you, sir. All right. Oh, it wasn't the answer you gave me. All right. Come, folks. Sort out that one, yeah. Sort out that one, yeah. La, 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 la. So R plus 3 is equal to 3 times as much. What number when you add 3 to it is the same thing as 3 times that number minus 5? Listen, 12. So R plus 3 and that. 12 minus 5. 7. So that work. All right, so we get an answer. Lexi gave an answer. All right, so let's say if Lexi is right. Lexi is right. All right, let me run through it quick with the typing. So R plus 3 is equal to, and this, the 3 outside the bracket means that you're going to multiply 3 times, use a distributive property, which means 3 times what's in the bracket. So 3 times r is 3r, and 3 times 5 is 15. So we have done that already. So r, some answer coming in before we finish. Okay, Q in, very good. So after quotient and tangent is stock. Quotient and tangent is stock. R plus, I'm stuck on the stock. So I'll carry over the 3r. So R will just carry over the r. Why not? And just say 3r minus r. Can do that way there. And carry over the 3. So negative 15 minus 3. So we have 2r over here. So it was negative 18. So therefore r is equal to negative 9. So what one did they get? I get positive 9. That's all. So oh my, why negative 9? Okay, so now.
Sir, something up, sir, because a positive 9 minutes, sir.
Oh, okay.
Some rearrange them different from you.
Okay.
So like work with positives. Yeah.
Okay.
Rearrange it
So
in a way where we get all positives.
okay. So well, I guess mine wrong then. All right, we'll do it phone away then. I mean, I go shortcutting. All right. Let's we can work with positives then. So let's say r plus 3 is 3r minus 15. All right. So yeah, carry over the say, but in a way, take it, Papa. If you carry over the 3r, you know, let's see, and we get r minus 3r.
No, sir, I leave the 3R alone and me carry over the
You
R.
leave the 3r.
Yeah, me carry over the R over to the
Then
right.
all right. That's what we do too. So 3r minus r minus 15.
And then
Good.
I carry
And
over
then I
the
get
15.
3 equal to 2r minus 15. Oh, so what you say? See what you say. Smart boy. So 3 plus 15 equal to 2r. Okay. So I like to work with the 2r on the side. So therefore, r equal to 9. Okay. Good. Very good job to the two. All right. The Lexia, the Tangina and Nikosha. Oh, come on. Oh, Lexia drop out of the equation. Nikosha, are you there? Nikosha, are you there? Nikosha? You can send me a text, Let me know if you're there. All right, torpedo, positive 9. We're on the same track. Well, you are there, because the text went through. Tangini, are you there, Tangini?
Yes, sir.
So algebra having a week. Are you just not working it fast enough? Which is it? You have to work it fast enough. All right, so let's move on to another question. Make K the subject of the formula. So to want to know Tangini Kosha, and if Tasha is in the hearing of my voice, if we realize and not answer the questions upon algebra, Draft your textbook and go practice some algebra. All right. A word to the wise is sufficient. I can't afford to give up no mark at all. Try get all marks. This is like a test. This class time is like a test to see where you are and what you need to do. You know what I mean? It's a simple, you know. Simple 2 mark or 1 mark or 2 mark. What does it, Tangi? Let's work with you. What does it mean? What does it mean to make K the subject of the formula, Tangi?
Sir, to make K by itself.
Okay, good. So let's talk about it now. What would you do to make K by itself? What's the first thing you done the first? What's the first step? Come on, Tangi, talk to me now. Tangi, your mic is muted if you're talking. Make K by itself. So you understand that? So tell me what you do now.
Sir,
Uh-huh. Nothing wrong with me, the baby. Come on, man. Come talk, man. Tangi, come on, man.
sir,
Tangi is busy with her sister or brother. Divide both sides by 2. Where you get that from? You just your Tangini says a while ago. All right, that's what you said, torpedo. Tangini say you must separate. You must have K by itself. All right. So since people having that a little weakness right there, simple thing. If you're gonna make first, you have to carry the 3A over that side first. And if you carry it over there, you must have subtract. That first thing. See? No, we still not have K by itself because we have pi beside it. Okay, I see your answer, avocado. So we're gonna see who's correct and who's wrong. All right. Now, this expression, what does this expression mean? Pi K square. What does it mean? How do we read it in English? How do we read this in English? Anybody?
Pi times K raised to the second power.
Good. So if we're gonna separate them, what we have to do? So it's a pi times K raised to the second power. So if we're gonna separate them, what operation we have to carry out?
Division.
Division. Okay, good. So we have to divide this by this. Divide both sides by this. By pi. So what we have left then is 2A minus 3T all divided by pi. But we don't have K by itself. We have K square. And how do we then have K square by itself?
And the square root to cancel out the power.
Good. So find the square root to cancel out the power. Very good. All right, very good, mask queuing. So we'll find the square root of both sides.
Sir, that's what makes me don't sound like a man.
QN text me. So me say, so me I respond to QN. I was responding to you, Lexi. You never give me the answer. QN give me a type of answer, give me. So I was really responding to you, darling. I know you don't sound like a man. All right. So therefore, K then is equal to. So we'll put the answer up here. So K is equal to the square root of 2a minus 3t all divided by 5. All right. Easy. Okay, I see that Torpedo got it correct. Avocado. Good job too, avocado. Very good. Round avocado. What's your real name, Round Avocado? What is your real name? QC Gamer. I play a game on YouTube. All right. So everybody get that? Remember, you can always go back to the YouTube channel to get the work, you know. Yeah, man. Then with the game over there, Mr. Play a game that. then if me to game.
Sir, just make it for summer, sir.
Make it for summer.
Yes, sir.
You play a game for summer.
No, me plan for do it in the summer, sir.
Oh, you plan to do it this summer. Oh, that's your goal. The grade one, plan to get the grade one in the summer, yeah.
I plan to get the grade one and then celebrate by doing the channel. Yes.
Okay. Well, okay, so then. All right. So we're gonna move on now. So we're gonna reach a 2 hour market. Yeah? All right, so folks will start class early tomorrow. Should be able to start at 5 o'clock. All right. This is not our best friend, but let's go. This is call linear programming. Inequalities. Let's see what's coming up after that. Wow. Next is start measurement. All right, inequalities. Wrap it up. So we can go to question number 3. See it there. So at least we can finish this paper tomorrow. So everybody reach home by before 5 o'clock. I'm gonna work in this exam group of having. So I'm gonna work in this group. So I do have my class to do tomorrow. The language teacher will stream on our own. No, I lie. We can stream her on the next thing. I run our class from 5 to straight to 10 o'clock. 5 hours of class. Can't bar. So at least I'm going back on the time when I lose last week. Kevin, I need to talk to you after the year, yeah? Yeah, Kevin?
Yes, sir.
All right, come produce an answer. Oh, thank you, you read it.
A farmer plants 2 crops, potatoes and corn, on a 10-hectare piece of land. The number of hectares of corn planted, C, must be at least twice the number of hectares of potatoes, P. Write two inequalities to represent the scenario above.
Okay. Okay. All right. Uh, we have 60 minutes in class at 10:30. So how far we can reach by this paper here. Torpedo say, okay, torpedo. So yeah, we are chatting. So you can't find it. From torpedo, you can't find the symbol. So I don't see how you get that. Oh, the symbol under the true. Let me see. Of course, the symbol is there. All you have to do is write that and just write something like that. Something like that, you write it. Right? You can write the symbol like that. Okay, Sir Torpedo. So if I can find it, you can find it too. Use that to represent what you're writing. So for those persons on YouTube, we're streaming our classes live. And no, not live, sorry. Or we will be starting our marathon tomorrow at 5 p.m. 5 hours of work. Take a break in between. But we will not be streaming live. So, but we resume next week, Monday. So our Monday classes will continue to be going live, but students will be doing high volume of work the rest of the week. Ah, God of mercy. We must come in my property. No answer at all? Only from YouTube we get an answer. Oh, this on a weakness. This isn't a weakness. All right. What the heck? That's that's why it happened. All right, let's do it together. So a farmer plants 2 crops. So first you have to do, you write down C for corn. So you know, so this means corn. P for potato. So I'm gonna do it properly. I'm gonna do that. All right, so okay. So okay. Kieran, so what you got? I don't know what you have this other work, but so you get. Let's write them down. The C is corn. And P is potato. We're not talking about minus, man. It's potato. Potato. No, let's take the question piece by piece. So he plants these two crops. And let's draw the land. So the land there. So let's draw a rectangle to represent the land. What are the inequalities? All right, we're going to be answering that. We're going to be answering that, avocado. So avocado ask us what we mean by inequalities. All right. So we're going to answer that question. We're going to answer that question first. What do you mean by inequalities? Now we have a symbol looking like this, and they have a symbol looking like this, and they have a symbol looking like this, and a symbol looking like this. Now, these are inequality signs. And we use inequalities regularly. When it says that he's shorter than. All right, that's what you have there, sir. We shall see. Shorter than, taller than, longer than, bigger than, fatter than, larger than. Once you're using the than, those express the idea of inequalities. Or you can say at least, at most. Good. Those are expressions of inequalities. Now, so these are the symbols that represent them. I'm going to tell you what each means. Now, there's a secret to find out which is greater, which is less than, because persons tend to mix those up. Good. Now, it is said that anything that, if I can see my hand, nobody can see my hand. I'm going to pin my camera. All right. You can see my camera? But not pin my man.
So we can see.
Okay. Now when you bend your hand like this, so nothing wrong with my arm. So anything that comes after here is small, but right over this side is greater. So if over here, anything behind the elbow, so if you bend the elbow, this side is less, this side is greater. So therefore, whatever is behind here is less, whatever is before here is greater. Same thing, whatever is before here is greater, whatever is behind the elbow is less. Make sense? So if I use this, I can say it represents greater than, and once the line is underneath it, you're going to say it's greater than or equal to, or well, this is actually less than or equal to. I'm just going to say greater than or equal to. Why we said this is less than? Because you're reading from left to right. So if you put C right here, let's try that. Depending on how you read it, if you're reading from left to right, if you say C is less than P, you're reading from left to right, C is less than P. That's what you're saying. Okay, around avocado, good. And if you say P is greater than, they have to turn it like this. Because whatever is on this side is greater. P is greater than C. Same statement, but expressed different ways. All right? It says, oh, you read it. That is the key. How it is read is the key story right here. If you not read properly, you're not going to understand it. Good? So it's how it is read is the actual key right there. All right. So let us continue with our little situation. All right. Let us continue. All right, so we're getting some answers. Thank you to give some answers. All right, fine. All right, thank you. You have an idea what go on. That's good. All right, so now just saying to us now that let's text box more. You're saying to us now that this size of the size of this land is 10 acre. So it is obvious that some plus sign or something I got in the story, don't it? Some addition of in the story. Good. It's obvious, but we're going to take it piece by piece. Now, the number of hectares of corn planted, C, must be at least twice the number of hectares of potatoes. So what is now? The number of hectares of corn planted must be at least twice. At least twice means that C is equal to 2 times P or greater. So C, so corn is greater than or equal to 2P. That's one of the inequalities. How do we write that? You might ask. C, I would say greater than equal or equal to so in other words then at least is another way of saying greater than, right? If it says C must be at least twice the number of hectares of P, that means it can be equal or it can be equal to or more. See there? Equal to or more. Right? The greater than is the same thing. Greater than or equal to is the same thing as saying at least. Right? So in other words, then, give me at least $10. The man now say if you give me exactly $10, I say give you can't give him less than $10. So the least you give him is $10, but you can give him more. So the least you can say is 2P, but it's more. So this is the inequality right here. Good? That's one inequality. Now the second inequality, which is obvious, is that you have to what? Add them. You have to add them. Now, how do we show the addition? How we show the addition? Now, this is the corn. That's the corn. Good. That's the corn. Now, if this is the corn, these are the corn, What about the potato? Then the other statement around then. Potato is what? The potato is what? Wait about the potato. Think about the potato. If the corn is greater than or equal to 2P, the potato is what? Any idea? Any ideas? Any ideas? What would the potato equal to? Nobody? All right. Oh, I would write it. Is that the potato must be less than or equal to half of the can. Must be half the can. Can't be the same. Because if it is that the can is twice the potato, then to the potato half the can then. Make sense? Or it could be no. So it can't be 2p then. It must be half. Put double check on that statement. All right. To be on the safe side, sometimes basically put in some numbers in there, right? If potato was 4, if it was 4 potato, how much can would I have? Can that equal to what? You talk to me now. Greater than or equal to 8, don't it? 8 cans. Good. So we are saying then that potato is half the number of cans. Good. So therefore this must be correct then. So what I did a while ago. Use numbers to create clarity. To half the number of cans. See it there now. All right. No. No. How we're going to put these two inequalities together now? To equal to 10. Any ideas? Torpedo. Rub them out fast. Any ideas? Any ideas? A simple reason, you know, folks. So I'll put the two of them together now. Oh, you have 2p greater than p. Oh, that's S.E.C divided by 2. Okay, all right. Oh, yeah, ask me if it was correct. Thought you were telling me. Thought you were telling me that you. Well, let's see, no? We'll still a look. We'll still a look. All right. So I could use one of the variable then. Use one of the variable then. So we understand that the can is equal to 2p if this is a possibility, right? So hold on now, you know. Don't do anything yet. Don't do anything yet. This is a possibility. But guess what the problem now? Hold on now. Juggle the thing now, right? Now, if it is that the can was 2p and the potato was just p, it is a possibility that we are saying that 3p. Okay, so see it now. Hey. So we have one answer now. Less than or equal to. Can be greater than the 10. right? Can be greater than the 10. So the total number of potato plus corn is either less than or equal to 10 acre, but it obviously can be greater than 10. Make sense? Am I making sense here?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So if you write an equation, maybe the two inequalities that I'm gonna ask you for really is probably either them two here. But figure more or less the fact that them tell you about the 10 acre, you have to include one of the 10 acre in it. So there's no way that the total number of crops is going to be greater than 10 acre, but it more likely has to be equal to 10 acre or less, right?
Sir,
We know the number of corns can either be twice the number of potato, but it's certainly not less. See it? And let's see if we can find another way of structuring it together. Let's got another way. You don't give up, you know. You keep looking for other ways of structuring the thing. Giving up is not a part of the situation here. So we know that these two make sense. But we want to try to arrive now where we can add the two inequalities together to make an equation. Follow? Follow? What now, PM? All right. If I say
sir, so
C,
if you have to include 10 acres in it, sir, I would write that a different way.
that may I look for now? Do you mean different from this?
Yes, sir.
Well, a point there. So what I don't know. All right. The con, let's say we have a con is greater than or equal to 2p. Um, hmm. So it's the same thing as this one. But I try to write a different too. So the inequality for the con for sure. So for the con, what plus
Sir, could I just switch out 2P with C?
2p with c?
Yes, sir. Would that be considering writing it a different way?
Oh, so what I mean? I mean where c is right here, so that's what I mean?
Well, no, where 2P is in the one that includes the 10. So you just say we have to include the 10 in it. I was trying to find a
Mm.
different way. I was just saying if it would be if you could switch out the 2P and put C there instead, if that would be considered writing it a different way.
C plus p.
Yes.
Oh well, yeah, yeah, yeah. Why not? Why not? Because because it's the same thing, eh? The same thing.
Yes,
So
sir.
could all right. So could say C then. C plus P. Yeah, 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 yeah. Makes sense. Makes sense. Good. This makes sense. That's correct. You're correct. So you'll probably have C greater than or equal to 2P and C plus P is less than or equal to 10. That's correct. Yes, you're correct. You're correct, sir. So instead of writing 2P, write C. Very good. Good boy. Good boy. Brain is working tonight. So let me remove this one. Even though it's correct, but still remove it. Good. So we could work with this and this. So you have to reason out the thing, students. It's not as easy as you think it is, but you have to reason it out, write it as it is, as you see it. So if them said that, you write that. But you have to include the 10 in it, because now just get the 10 just so. Follow? So very good observation, Kieran. All right, so we are basically come to the end of the session. But just to get to the measurement question, because I guess persons want to look forward to the measurement question and so forth. Now, I have a video based on inequalities as well that I have created. All right, so we're going to do part of the measurement question, catch it up back in tomorrow's class to complete it. I think this paper covers a lot of part of the syllabus. All right, so let's wrap up the class with this question. People supposed to want to sleep, you know. So we're gonna start the class early tomorrow so we can finish early tomorrow. When I have to prepare for exam, I have to do at least one all night, you know, but you need some rest. So it will be not wise to take away your rest. So we're gonna start the class, the marathon early at 5 o'clock tomorrow. All right, so the diagram below shows an hexagonal prism. And it's called an hexagonal because 1, 2, that have 6 sides, 6 faces. These are 6, look at the bases have 6 edges. Now, well, so the question is now being asked, how many faces, how many edges, and how many vertices? So you have to know now what we mean by faces, what we mean by edges, and what we mean by vertices. Now, edges is now where the faces meet. So this line, this face meet to this face meet to this face, and the vertex now is where the edges that meet. So the straight line is called the edges. Good. I think we're going to stop right here and then take it up in our next class. All right. So this is where we draw the line. That's running into dangerous hours now. So draw the line here tonight. Very good participation by you all, but I expect more from Mikosha and Tangini. Next, so come tomorrow to do some vectors. Try to finish up this worksheet, but we'll probably get into the vectors first, then we'll continue this worksheet and so forth. All right. So be prepared to run through the marathon classes. All right, so I want to say a special thanks to Gabriel for participating, to Torpedo for participating, and for Round Avocado for participating as well. Level of participation on YouTube was good by the members who have participated. Now, saying to the others persons, if it's the first time coming to CDP Labs channel, it's very important that you participate actively, not just viewing only, but participate, answer the questions in the YouTube chat. This is a maths class. CDP Labs Daily Service is about activity, not just to view and to listen, but to actively participate. And just say good night to you all, and that's it for the night. No, I'm not going to do no thing that tonight, is it? No evaluation tonight. That's bedtime. We'll start at 5 tomorrow. Oh, QA, remember, need to talk to you. So I want to end the stream. Good night to you all for